Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me with another talk therapy. I am your host, Charmaine, and I am the mental health professional. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about today is kind of a series that I'm doing that is very dear to my heart, and also a series that a lot of people don't talk about, but we talk about it here in Talk Therapy. So basically, this is going to be about, and I want to make sure I have all of the stuff here. This is going to be about emotional incest. And I've talked about it in another video that I will probably pin up here just so that you guys can see it. I did talk about the mother-daughter, how it affects the mother-daughter dynamic. And now I'm going to be talking about the mother-son dynamic. Okay. Now, first of all, let's talk about what is the emotional incest. Now, also called covert incest, because this is something that a lot of people, you can't see all the time with the naked eye, because nobody doesn't involve, sexual abuse or anything like that, or physical abuse. But the emotions are something that is kind of hidden, and it's also disguised a lot of times. Okay, so the simple definition that I have here is this happens when a parent or caregiver relies on a child for emotional needs that an adult relationship usually provides. Now, they may behave like the child is a lover or a love life partner, or a best friend, or a significant other, like a husband or a wife. They put this child in a position where they're in an adult position, and they react to them as if they are another adult. Now, emotional incest is not the same as physical incest or anything like that, because it does not include sexual abuse. Now, sometimes what happens in this instance, that it does go as far, sometimes in certain cases, as being something physical, as physical abuse, but a lot of times it doesn't. Okay, it's like that. It goes all the way to just everything but physically touching the child. A lot of times, sometimes it goes just that far. Okay, or having them do things that they know that only an adult should be doing, such as rubbing their back and rubbing their feet for them and giving them massages and things like that. Yes, it wasn't a physical sexual thing, but it was something that another adult should be doing for you, or you should be doing that to another adult than you are doing to a child. So let's get into and kind of unpack this, the dynamic between the mother and son, and why it's important that you understand this, because I know many of us, we have already dealt with someone who we've considered as a mama's boy, that guy that can't make a move in a relationship without their mother having this just over indulgence in the life of you and that person. This guy that can't really go too far with you until they introduce you to their mother. Now, I know that we take pride in being introduced to a person's mother, but this is a little bit different. Okay, it's like he can't make a decision until after he's actually gotten you to his mother, because if he doesn't, his mother is going to feel some type of way. Okay, so many times we can kind of detect this upbringing, because this happens very early in age with guys, just as it does with women, with daughters. So with the son, this son usually takes on sometimes it happens in a single parent home, and sometimes it happens even when It's not a single parent home. So in a single parent home is really more prevalent than it is when it's actually a guy there. But it's still no difference. The son is usually still kind of messed up behind it. And I'll show you some of the reasons why. So in a single parent's home, you may hear the mother refer to the son, no matter how old he is. He could be like 5 or 6. They could say that that's a little man, or they may call him, say he's the man of the house. It's always going to be some type of man put behind his name, like he is taking the place of that mother's boyfriend or husband, right? And this makes a lot of guys uncomfortable when they come into the relationship with somebody who is treating their son like that's their man, okay? And we have seen, or you may have dated somebody where you kind of think like, are they together? Are they, is he sleeping with his mom? We don't want to think that, but we kind of think that because she's acting so jealous and he's acting so possessive of his mother, and he's like got to jump at her every beck and call. Like if she calls, he's over there. If somebody hurts his mama, he's there, and he wants to fight the boyfriend that she's with, the husband that she's with. And it's really just weird, right? And you only thing that you can think of is this is such a mama's boy. But what has happened to him is that he was dealing in a emotionally incest type of relationship with his mother. Now, I've seen some really, really odd things. I literally saw a couple of, when I was looking this up, and it really was disturbing because I saw these women literally had their child dressed up like they were their boyfriend, and I'm just going to kind of share because I want you guys to kind of see it. It looks really weird. This one mother is literally kissing her son as if this is really weird. So and I really wanted to, and I didn't have these examples for the mother-daughter best friend type of thing, but I want you guys to kind of see what I'm seeing and see if it kind of looks a little too weird for you. Now, I think with some of these things, I'm gonna go as far as to say that this may be the line of physical abuse, because what this mother is actually doing. And I'll just share my screen here, because actually I wasn't even looking up this. I was looking up something for the mother. So if you can, check this out, like what's going on here? Like, why are you kissing your son like that? That's super weird for me. And then they got some other examples here that is, again, super weird, super uncomfortable, super inappropriate. I forgot, where's that other one? This one, dressing the son up like they going on a date together, that type of thing. That is crazy, I've seen women be really over sexualize their sons, and to me that's super weird. But it really comes from this emotional incest. Now, what type of dude does this wind up being? This is that guy that may be a little hostile. He likes women, but he really don't like women. Like, he deals with women, but he really don't like women. Like, he's the one that really kind of hates women, and it's because of his mother. A lot of times it's because his mother has over-sexualized him. His mother has treated him like she was his, he'd been in a relationship all his life, and she has made him responsible for his emotions. She has, but at the same time, she tried to be his mother. She manipulated him. He can't stay with a woman because he's trying to compare her, or he feels like she's going to try to overtake him or treat him as if he is treat him like the way his mother has treated him. And he's not, his mother always was there to help him not stay in a relationship. So anytime his mother, and even anytime he gets mad at a girl, he can go back home. I've dealt with a guy like that. He was so attached to his mother that he couldn't be in a relationship with me because he was so busy worried about what his mother think and what she's going to say and all these type of things. And also, he didn't want to put forth any effort in the relationship because he knew that he could lean back on his mother if he needed to, and he didn't understand what a relationship between a male and female was supposed to look like because his mother blurred the lines so much with him. Okay, so basically, this is the dude that you need that has a chip on his shoulder about you being in a relationship with him. And his mother is very interfering. She interferes in everything that you guys do. Like, you guys could be doing anything and she would make a phone call and he'll drop whatever he's doing because his mother has so much control over him that he'll drop whatever. You guys could be having sex, he'll stop right in the middle and hey, he got to go and do whatever he needs to do for his mother. And she does that on purpose. His mother doesn't like anybody that he deals with, okay? Nobody that he's dealt with. She picks a fight, literally a fight with everybody that he deals with, okay? This is somebody who has blurred the lines between mother and son, has decided that this was her man, and that's how she treats him. This, again, starts from a very early age where she's calling him little man, man of the house, man, or whatever it is that they want to call him. Oh, look at him. They over-sexualize him by talking about how sexy he is, and he could only be like 5 or 6 years old. They also make sure that he, talks about him, what type of girl he likes and all these type of things. And he's only like 9 or 10. Tells him how fine he is, and he's a very young boy, putting in his head, telling him that he's going to be a heartbreaker, and that look, no woman ain't going to be able to do this, dressing him up as if he is a man. I've seen people put their little boy in some of the most designer male clothes that they could find, piercing his ear, trying to make him look. They're giving him a grown man haircut and everything, making him look like a man, literally taking him out on dates with them. Okay. Like, he can't hang out with his buddies or anything like that because he has to go date his mama. Right. Some of these extreme cases, I've heard of a grown man taking a bath with their mother, and their mother busting in the door, not respecting his, he's naked. She's busting in the door, trying to, saying that I'm your mother, I can do this, that type of thing. Okay. She literally made him her man and told him how he needs to be there for her. Now, when he gets in a relationship, she tells him how manipulative things to do to the female that he's with. So he thinks he's extra slick when it comes down to women because she's giving him all these ins and outs about how to manipulate a woman. Okay. And, not telling him how to treat a woman in a kind way or anything like that, telling him how to manipulate her, breaking them up. And then also telling them that no woman comes above her. I'm your mother. And he believes that. So when that woman, he gets this good woman in his life that doesn't care for that type of behavior, they double team this woman that comes into his life. So he's kind of confused as he goes through life, because he's confused about where he stands in that woman's life. And this woman usually is very narcissistic. As always, they're covert narcissists. And what they do is, because their son is going to fuel them with all the things that a man should be doing, or she doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to a narcissist, but a man should be doing these things. Zip me up. How do I look in this dress? How my butt look? How I look in these jeans? And all this stuff, trying to look as young as one of his friends and his girlfriends, and all these type of things. Over sexualizing just the whole look. How my breasts look, those type of things, just inappropriate things that they actually say. And I witnessed them saying these things to their son, okay? Talking about the size of his, private parts and things like that, just really going in. I've seen it, okay? Again, like I said, busting in his room when he's with a girl or when he's not with a girl. Overly in his business about what they're doing, what he's doing with a girl sexually. Okay. Now, she doesn't mind that her son sometimes has sex with other women, a lot of times, but then she wants to talk about it. She wants to hear about it. She wants to put herself in live vicariously through him with that girl. I've seen this many times, okay? Asking him inappropriate questions about, how they have sex, telling him sexual things about how to have sex with the woman, okay? How to kiss a woman, how to have oral sex with the woman. So those are inappropriate things that a mother should not be talking to her son about. Also, introducing him to so much feminine things that he probably can't stand anything to do with women in the feminine area, telling him about, her feminine issues and things like that. Just too much information that a little kid or a teenager does not need to know. Now, men are a little bit different, and young boys are a little bit different as they get older. And, these women sometimes arouse them sexually, and a lot of times these young men, they don't understand it. It's confusing to them, and it's shameful to them. They feel guilty at the fact that they may be aroused about their mother, but that's because she is connecting with him on a level that only his girlfriend or somebody that he's intimately interested in should be doing. But his mother has overstepped those boundaries and started going into that Pandora box, even as a young man, like going past his boundaries as far as like busting in his room, looking through his things, asking him about this, sexual prowess and all this stuff. And it maybe even looking at his, private parts and commenting on them as, like your dad is this, and that, and the other. And you were this, that, and the other. Y'all both got, but I've heard this with my own ears. I heard women do this to their young sons. So you wonder, you're like, wow, well, why he can't stay in a relationship? Why is he physically harming a woman in his relationship? Because he really, when he figured out that she is almost the cause of him not even being in a good relationship ever in his life, or when he does have a good relationship, she got a problem with it. It kind of makes him hate her in a sense, but he would never say that. He would literally take it out on that girl. he will literally take it out on her if he decides that he wants to deal with women. Because some men decide, I don't even want to deal with women after what my mom has put me through. Now, some of them really do understand that that's where all of the hate energy come from. And they after what their mother has put them through, they don't even want to deal with women. They rather deal with men. They rather deal with men. And the same thing happens to women sometimes too. But so sometimes they can get so hostile toward women that they decide, you know what, I don't even want to deal with them. Or they may see their mother in so many different compromising positions, or see her as she, because she tells him too much. So she tells him about all the relationships that she's been in, and how he could see his mother cheating on his father, and his father is there being a good guy, or being a passive guy, or being a wimp in some cases, because a lot of times narcissistic women get a man that is so passive and so docile, so she can control him, and she cheats on him, right? So this young man is seeing not only this, but he's also seeing his mother, acting inappropriate ways, right? So some of these people do all of these things, over-sexualize the son, show him that she can be, inappropriate in terms of her relationship. So he learns, I don't even want to trust women, let alone be in a relationship with them if they're going to be like what I see my mother doing. Okay. Now, also, if it's a single mom, she again makes that her man, so he gets hostile with every man that she brings in, because she's already kind of groomed him into being the husband or the boyfriend. So when she decides she wants to date, her son gets jealous like a man would get jealous about his woman. Now, this is confusing to the young man, because he's like, I'm the one been sitting up with mama, hugged up with her, kissing her, and and we've been watching movies and going out on dates together, and I've been rubbing her feet, she's been rubbing mine, and we've been rubbing our backs and all this type of stuff. She's been kissing me in the mouth. She goes in the washroom when I'm in the washroom. I bust in when she's in the washroom. We don't have any boundaries when it comes down to that. We see each other naked, and then here comes this guy that wants me out of the way. So how is he supposed to feel? So he's just because he hasn't had intercourse with his mother doesn't mean that he doesn't have all these sexual, aroused energy toward his mother, because that's what they have put together, and that's what she has taught him to feel. So let's go into this young man's head. So what is he thinking when he gets with a woman? Okay, so sometimes he may have those thoughts about his mother, because his mother may actually be physically beautiful, and she may just be showing him all these different things about her her body and her sexuality and all these type of things. So why wouldn't he, now I'm not saying that some guys, they literally sometimes either don't go with any women, or they find getting somebody that look exactly like his mother, or they go the opposite. Either way it goes, she's still kind of in their business, okay? All in their business, telling him how this girl, trying to be best friends with his girlfriend so they can break them up. So when she tries to go out with a guy, he got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, they don't understand, and they blur the lines. He's very confused because he doesn't want to have these, sexual thoughts about his mother. Okay. He doesn't want to have this sexual feeling about his mother, but because she has infiltrated him with emotional incest, he's feeling this. Now, when he gets with a woman and she has good intuition, she knows that right away. She's like, you and your mother, and sometimes they comment on it, but 9 times out of 10, she's going to tell her friend. Okay, she's going to talk to her friend about how close him and his mama is, or how how they act together, and he's still kissing her in the mouth, and they can't, they go off into a corner together, and it's weird. It's really weird to that woman when she steps into something like that, but she can feel it right away. She can feel it right away because she knows, number one, their mother is going to treat her like competition. Okay. And and if she cares about the guy, she feels the competition right away. And she feels that. It's just like if you come into somebody's family and they introduce you to a cousin that you know for a fact that they have some type of sexual energy with, or they slept with, you can feel it right away. So nobody is really hiding anything. They think they are, but when you get in good with somebody, or y'all start dating, you just automatically feel those things and know those things. It's not that person is strikingly beautiful or anything like that. It could be one that doesn't even look all that good, but you can see that there is a little bit something that's going on there that was inappropriate. You can always feel it. You always feel it. Okay. I don't care who you are. If you like that person, you're going to know who has some type of inappropriate relationship with them. So what happens sometimes is that, when they have an argument, it may come up or something like that. But a lot of times the woman won't say anything that's coming in because she wants to keep a relationship with that guy. So she don't say much. She just thinks like you are such a mama's boy. Now, she won't say something until they're like, sometimes not even until they actually get married or they become very serious in the relationship. Then she may mention that, wow, you really jump and hop when your mom calls, but I just asked you just to do one little thing and you got a problem with it. So, and I'm not trying to say that a guy shouldn't be respectful to his mother. And we have been taught kind of like, hey, how a guy treats his mother is how he's going to treat you. And that has some validity to it. However, there are some lines that you can tell that has been crossed. And you can tell that when you're in a relationship with that guy. And there's several ways, like I said, that you can tell. Is he very hostile towards you at times? Do you guys have a argument and it just escalates, and then he all of a sudden almost act like you his mother? How does he act with his mother? Do they have a hostile relationship? Sometimes they have a hostile relationship because it's like the lover's scorn. Like, did she meet you and just all of a sudden instantly hate you for no reason? Or does she just do little sneaky things behind his back to show you how much she don't like you? Okay. So those are some telltale signs that some lines have been crossed between them. Not everything is going to be sexual or physically that has gotten physical, but in a guy's mind. Now, this video is slightly different from the one that I did before about the mother-daughter instance. But the mother-son is totally different because the guy, the men are visual beings, right? We are too, but they're more visual than they are emotional. So when this line is crossed with mother-son, it becomes more sexual for the son and probably for the mother as well. Who knows? But it's really, it affects him really, really bad in his relationships. The relationship that he has with his mother really affects him in the relationship that he would have with the opposite sex in a opposite sex relationship. Now, as I mentioned before, some people, some guys decide, hey, you know what? I'm not going to deal with women at all because she is because for some reason once the mother has crossed these lines. Now, I'm not saying that's how every guy is gay. No. I'm saying that some guys have decided that no, I don't want anything to do with women because of what the mother has showed them when it comes down to women. Because just like I said, when the mother does this with a girl that is very young and how and I may not have went too far into it, but when the daughter and mother situation where she's a best friend, sometimes she can skew the girl's thinking toward men where she can't stand men because of what her mother is telling her. It's the same thing with boys, with young sons. He will get to the point where he can't stand women because of what his mother is showing him in her relationships. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because what he's seeing his mother be, whether his mother be a prostitute, he may decide that all women are like this, or the majority of women are. And because of that sexual energy that she's shown him and has brought up in him, being over-sexualized, he may be attracted to a certain wayward type of woman because of what his mother has shown him. Okay? So it can go either way. But at any rate, she is showing him something that is going to be kind of hard for him to get around. Yes, with good counseling, he may wind up with a good, healthy relationship. But it may not be until he's been through quite a few, or until he's made some really horrible mistakes in his life with some women. You know, maybe he got hostile with a couple of women. Maybe he beat women. Maybe he, again, you know, can't stand the fact that he likes women of that are maybe women of the night, as they would say. And he can't stand that about him because he saw his mother. Because now I'm kind of going into stories that I've even heard. And what person that comes to mind for me is Richard Pryor. If you ever saw his life story, and it's a little bit off topic, but his mother was a prostitute, and the way that he treated women most of his life, if he decided to go with a woman of color, which most of his women were not women of color. And that may be a big reason why he decided, you know, I love women, but I can't deal with somebody of color, because maybe that reminded him too much of his mother, because his mother was in that lifestyle or whatever about that life. Okay. But anyways, I said that to say how a mother can really groom their son into being and doing some things in life that may not be very good for them in terms of their relationship. It is important that to have a healthy relationship with your caregiver, your mother, your father, because this is what's going to help you in your relationships going forward. Now, when you don't have that, you know, you wind up having situations that are really detrimental to you and the other person that you wind up getting involved with. It makes a woman very uncomfortable when she gets in a relationship with this so-called mama's boy, or when she gets into a relationship where she finds out that they are a bit too close, whether it be his mother, his sister, or whoever it is. You can feel it right away. Okay. And it makes them very uncomfortable. They can tell that, you know, somebody has crossed the lines. I've been in situations where even at church, you would see a mother-daughter situation, a father. It's more prominent when it comes to the father-daughter. And I'm going to talk about that soon as well. And it comes to the point where it's like really crazy. You're like, what is going on with these people? Are they serious? You know what I'm saying? So definitely, this is something that this young man is going to need therapy. Now, he might not be so young when he actually gets therapy, and he may be. But this is something I want. If you are a guy that has went through this, and it's always so shameful, because when we think about these things, it's so shameful. We don't want to, and I'm sure a guy doesn't want to think about the fact that he thought of his mother sexually because of the things that she did. It's not your fault, and you're not alone. You're not alone. The person, your caregiver, your mother, they overstepped those boundaries. They groomed you into being their boyfriend or their husband or their whatever. Okay. They took you out of your childhood, over sexualized you, made you feel a certain way, made you feel like, almost a narcissist. For a lot of you guys becoming narcissists. You wouldn't be watching this if you were, but she was the one that was telling you how sexy you were, how fine you were, and she's the one dressed you like the little man. They called you little man and a big man, or a man, or whatever it is. She added man to it because she wanted you to be her man. Okay. And it's a shame, because now you have a lot of things that you have to deal with emotionally, because you didn't have that. Even though your father was there, he didn't save you, he didn't protect you, he didn't stop her from, overdoing things with you, coming into your room, looking at your junk when she shouldn't have been, talking about you, and all those type of things that has happened. Being overly involved in your relationship with your girlfriend, busting in on you and your girlfriend when she knows that you and your girlfriend was in there doing whatever, right? So all types of things that made you feel a little bit, shied off from relationships. And if you're one of those people, I want you to just, make some comments in my comment section, talk about it a little bit more, tell me about it, tell anybody about it if you want. But also, I want you to understand that recovery is available for you. You can recover from this, okay? Now, I know that with guys, you guys probably don't, journal like us women. We like to journal, but then there are some guys that do journal. But I want to speak to everybody who has not journaled. Journaling is your superpower. You will be able to work a lot of things out through your journaling. Okay. Now, sometimes people don't know what to write. Sometimes we open up the journal and we be like, okay, where do I start? Well, I have created a journal for you. Okay. Not only that, I created a journal for you that is going to have prompts. It's going to tell you what would be great for you to write at this particular time. It kind of prompts your brain to start to think about some things to write. Okay. And it's a 30-day journal. Also, it is actually included in a subscription package that I sent out to everyone who needs to have ongoing therapy, but maybe you can't afford to go to therapy or, spend thousands and thousands of dollars for therapy. You can also say this is kind of recovery in a box, where you can actually start doing your writing, start doing the reading. I will have a book of the month in there that's going to be about the subjects that we talk about here on the channel. There is a group session that you can also join, which is at the meetup on Saturdays. I do a live meeting with all the people that want to, be involved in that. And we talk freely. It's a space that you can feel safe to talk about your feelings, or even just listen to other people. Okay. Also in that box, you're going to get some wonderful self-care items in there to help you. You're going to get some incense there to really get your senses involved. Okay, I know a lot of people aren't spiritual, but incense are really, to our ancestors, they really love the smell of certain incense. So I'll be sending that out as well. And use that part if you like, don't worry about it. You will also get an essential oil that are really have been known to help us with our brain function and everything. I will send a special pen to you so that you can write, because sometimes we get all this paper and stuff and we don't have nothing. We saw 100 pens around the house, but this pen is going to come with the package, along with a coloring book, adult coloring book. Yes, guys, I want you to write in color in your coloring book. Okay, it's an adult coloring book. Don't worry, I am going to send some color pencil pens to you so that you can get started on that as well. I tell you, once you're done in this, do this program for at least, if you at the very least 3 months for this situation. Believe me, it's going to help you every single day, knowing that you're connected to the other people that have subscribed to this. We're all like a community. Okay. So, and I'm also going to always include some tools that you can use, such as hypnotherapy, such as just a lot of different tools that you can definitely use. And I also will put in resources there so that you can, look at things online and so forth. So I'm going to have a unboxing for this particular subscription box. And the only reason I put it in subscription box is because all of those things are necessary. But not only that, it's also to keep the cost down. I know that we live in an economy right now where, cost is really important to a lot of people. So this is my way of getting everything out to you, but at a very, very low cost. So, if you were to buy all those items together, it's going to cost about $400 and something. But if I put it in a subscription box where you can just pay a little bit and be a part of the community at the same time, hey, I think that's a win-win for both of us. Now, also, I'm going to also let you know that I do have an online program course where you can actually learn even more about this subject and a lot more about narcissism, about how to get past and navigate through this narcissistic world. This is going to help you as well. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. I know that this one is not as long as the as the other one. I'm not going for a marathon or anything like that. It's just that these things need to be talked about. But again, people don't like to talk about them because it's embarrassing. That's why a lot of people don't want to talk about it. Okay, nobody wants to be called the mama's boy. Nobody wants to point out the fact that they may have sexual energy toward their moms or how their moms actually blur the lines and boundaries and why your emotions are not regulated. You know what I'm saying? So yes, so it's hard to talk about these things, but I want you to know that you're not alone. There are some people like myself that understand what you've been through. It doesn't make you a bad person or anything like that. And you don't have to feel the shame anymore because you had no say in how this person, how you were manipulated. You had no say in that. Okay. So don't feel bad about it. But it is time to recover from it. Okay. All right. So if you just need someone to talk to, or let's say this whole thing has really been very triggering for you, and you need to talk to somebody right away. Well, you can go ahead and text